Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of BC Buckets. I'm Matthew Bruni, and joining me once again is Colin Mitchell. Today, Colin, we have a battle of two bigs. Johni Broome, senior from Auburn, 6'10", who was first-team All-American, basically the runner-up and Player of the Year behind Cooper Flagg. And we have Yanic Konan Niederhauser, junior from Penn State, 7 feet tall, 22 years old, from Switzerland. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I got Yanic. Yanic, it's all gonna make sense. I will explain it to you why. You have Broome higher though, from what I hear.
Yeah. I don't think it's particularly close, but I'll let you open up with your. I'll let you open up with why you have Yanic higher. Like, how far apart are they for you?
Off the top of my head, I think they're like 8 spots.
I have
8 spots higher.
Man, I have Broome. Where'd he go? Man, it's so hard to see. I hate spreadsheets. I'm so sorry. I have Yanic last, or one of my last picks right now.
Okay.
So,
all right. Out of like 42, right? Right now, or however many.
Yeah, I have Broome. I have Broome in the first round, 29.
Woo.
I have Yanic, 42.
Okay. I won't bash Johni Broome yet, but Yanic, to me, if you want somebody early second round here that can realistically break a rotation without having to be like some revelation, like I think Johni Broome would have to be to get in there. From an athleticism standpoint and a size standpoint, it all makes sense. It's all right there. And then I actually think the way that he played defense this year at Penn State is immediately translatable to the NBA. I thought he hedged at times. I thought he played to level the ball screen at times. I thought he helped really well. He had really good range. It's not like he was just standing there and getting blocks because he's tall. Like, he's actually trying to go get blocks. And I thought that was fantastic. And then as a roll man, he runs to the front of the rim. And not only is he 7 feet tall without shoes on, he has a 7'3" wingspan and a 33.5-inch standing vertical. What's Johni Broome's standing vertical? It's like 24 inches, something like that. Colin, I think you have a higher standing vertical than Johni Broome. Okay, so athleticism-wise, this isn't even a comparison between these two. I want a guy at the 5 who I can put in as a backup center for 10 minutes a game and say block shots and run to the basket, run to the front of the rim. And Yanic does that. And I think even by NBA standards, he is big, he is strong, and I think he knows what he's doing enough in that regards. My list of strengths is very short, Colin, but I think that's all you need
my list of strengths
to
is
be a top 35
short.
player in this class.
See, but that's the thing that you already mentioned. It's like he does enough offensively well. I don't think so. And I also don't think defensively he's necessarily there. I do think he's bigger and just larger than most players, and that's why he was kind of breaking the scene so late. Like, why wasn't he able to do this until he got older and more physical than everybody else in college? So I think when he gets to the NBA, it's going to be a problem because, yeah, he needs, like, there's a lot of players in this draft where we go, yeah, they need to add weight, but they're defensive playmakers, and not to say that he's not a defensive playmaker, but they do a lot. When you watch them play defense, you're like, oh yeah, his timing's really good. Like other players, you go, oh, their timing's really good. Oh yeah, they do this really well technique wise. Whereas Yanic, I watch him and I go, oh, he got a good block, but I go, oh, he kind of is a little late on this, or his time is kind of off with this, or he only got this block because he's longer. So I think his physicals are good, but I don't think his technical side is caught up to that. And I don't know if that's ever going to get there because of his age. I mean, he's 20, he's going to be 22. He's 22 years old.
22 and a half or so.
22 and a half. Right. Cool. So then you get to the offensive side of the ball. He's never going to be able to be any type of playmaking. Like, I don't even mean like not even hit the open man type guy. I feel like he does not pass well out of the post. He cannot create for himself or others. He averaged 0.8 assists per game. I think he averaged almost 2 turnovers a game.
1.7.
So can he rim run? Maybe. I think that's like the only thing he can do positively, but he's almost a black hole offensively. So then what's your upside there? And unless you're finishing and being a really good defender, and I don't know how you can be on the court and finishing, he's going to get moved out of the way by stronger bigs. That's just what's going to happen to me. And then he needs to add a lot of weight. So for me, it's like
He doesn't need that. He does not need that. I don't think he needs that a lot of weight. He's strong enough.
Well, I mean, no, I mean, weight's a bad term. I guess he needs to get stronger. Like when I watch him, I feel like he gets moved out of the way.
Yeah, at times. And I'm not going to say he's a great rebounder at this point. He averages 6.3 rebounds per game. The one thing about him that I will disagree with you, I think there were times where, and this speaks to the turnovers that he had, he actually tried to do too much at times. Like he would take the big off the bounce, and sometimes it was really awesome because like sometimes he'd go by them and actually like, get up and just dunk on them or something like that. But then sometimes he would dribble the ball, and as a 7-footer dribbling the ball, he'd just get it taken.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little bit of upside with that. Like if maybe he can take a slow big off the bounce, like in 3 years or something, if he gets really comfortable and a more skilled off the dribble a little bit. Like there's a little bit of wiggle room there than I think you're giving him credit for. I will agree with the defensive processing. That's one of the things I have written down. Like he fouls a good amount, and like the overall process is a question mark. I will say the one thing I really that lowered me a bit from like even going even higher on him was, and this is where Johni Broome is actually good at this, and because he's more skilled, whatnot. But like the layups for Yanic, I don't know if you have synergy, but he was 55% on layups in the half court.
Yeah.
Like he was just not. If it wasn't a dunk, it was very rough at times. So with all that being said, I'm just banking on him not having to shoot layups and just dunking the damn ball because I think this is like a freakishly awesome athlete that will not have to post up, will not have to like process too much here again, unless he actually becomes a decent off the dribble big. But that's what I'm banking on with Yanic, and that's where to transition to Johni Broome. I think these guys are like almost exact opposites in a lot of different ways in terms of
I mean, I would completely agree with that. I mean, I have Broome listed as a power forward on my board just because
that's the hard part. I wrote down forward, but like could be backup center.
Yeah, like small ball center, backup 4. And to your point about him not being like an elite athlete, he's not. I mean, like you already mentioned, probably like a 28 inch vertical. So not ridiculously.
I think that's running. I legitimately think standing vert it was 24.5.
Oh, okay. I don't have standing vert.
Yeah, standing vert.
But the part that sets him apart is I feel like in the second round you're trying to get a guy that's gonna he's skilled. These players are gonna be older, but that have really good motors and can, to your point kind of in our last video about Kobe Brea, can translate things they do well right now at the next level. And I think rebounding, he's way better rebounder than Yanic. I think that can translate just because of how physical he is. I think that he's going to be able to play make and make reads out of double team, and he's not a double team, but make reads out of the post and off of offensive rebounds. I think that he's also going to be able to finish at a high level. He was 63% at the rim. It was 57% of all of his field goal attempts. So I think that's going to be a positive for him, regardless of how tall he is. He's only 6'10", still with a 7-foot wingspan. Yes, he can't create off the dribble. Yes, he can't really shoot threes, but he can maybe hit an open one occasionally. I just think that there's higher processing basketball wise. They're basically the same age, and he rebounds and plays really, really hard. And not to say Yanic doesn't play hard. I just think he plays harder, a lot harder. And I think that's valuable in the NBA, especially for watching these finals, how they are right now. Like these guys are like, you got to play hard the whole time. And I think this is valuable for a team, especially when you're picking that late.
Yeah, it'll be interesting in the second round to see what teams value here. Broome is hard for me to really comprehend as an NBA big here. If he shot the ball better, I would be significantly higher, which is the case for a lot of prospects. But like,
yeah,
he shot 28% from 3 this year. Now, to be fair, last year, 2024 season, he did shoot the 3 better. I don't have the percentage from me, but I think it was like 36% from 3 that year. It dropped down to 28% this year. But free throws, he's consistently been bad, like consistently been sub 60%. And so I don't have much faith that the shooting is really going to come around at a high level here. And if that's the case, then I'm looking at him on offense and being like, I think you're going to have to play the 5. Like, I think you're going to have to figure it out and play the 5 and be just rebound and trying to just kind of be a positional guy. And I don't really see how that sticks in the NBA right now. So that no athleticism, can't shoot. I can't have him top 40 or something like that on my board.
Wow.
It's not good enough. Skilled, very, very skilled. And actually, I think you're gonna love my comp for him because I agree with all the skills, the rebounding, like the footwork, all that stuff. Like in skill wise, he's good. Just everything else, I'm just out on. Do you want to go to comps? Because I have a great comp for Johni Broome.
If you feel like you want to say it, so go.
I want to say it. It's on the tip of my tongue, and you're gonna love this one.
Okay.
Johni Broome, my comp is Kenneth Lofton Jr.
Ooh, that is a really good comp, actually.
Just below the rim. Now
Yeah.
Lofton is 2.5, 3 inches shorter than Broome, which is why Broome was, almost the player of the year, and Lofton was, in Conference USA. But still, Lofton, as we know right now, is an awesome player in China and then was in the G League for a while, putting up big points. Like, it works because against lesser competition, the skill is going to overwhelm people. Just like Johni Broome in college, the skill overwhelms people, but they didn't have that athleticism that they needed to really elevate their game to the NBA level. So that's my only question. And honestly, Lofton, I think, was a better shooter than Broome was at this point. So, small details there, but I like that Kenneth Lofton Jr. comp a lot.
I actually think, Kenneth Lofton was able to get on a roster.
He did. I'm not saying Broome can't get on a roster.
No, I know you're not saying that, but I think that, the size and the wingspan there helps him a lot more. And yeah, the 3-point shooting, I remember Lofton is not much better, but a better shooter. And to your point, I think that Broome's shot is going to have to be it may go in game by game. I mean, it's really slow. It's not great, but if he's able to hit it at all,
yes,
then I think he's going to be a really good player.
If he makes 33% of his threes in the NBA, I recant all my statements, and I think he'll get on the court at some point.
So, I just think it's hard to I think I don't want to undervalue how hard he plays and how physical of a player he is, because if he was 2 inches taller and had a 7'3" wingspan and was 7 feet tall instead, we'd be like, oh, yeah, he's top 20, type thing. So I think that he's still able to get something done at 6'10". So I have my comp is Taj Gibson. I think that's kind of the role that he could fill.
I like that. I like that a lot. Like it's a gritty guy, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I see. They're not the same type of player, but like a player that you'd pick this late, and he ends up kind of like surprising you, like David Roddy did a few years ago. And you're like, oh, he's still able to do this at this level. Now, I don't know what he's looking like right now in the league, but point being, I think that it's possible.
And he comes in the league at 23 years old, so he's already a vet. So shout out Johni Broome. All right, Yanic.
Already a vet is sick.
I only have one comp for Yanic, and I think it makes complete sense here.
Okay.
I want to hear yours first, though.
I have Daniel Gafford as mine.
Okay. I thought about that, but then I remembered Yanic is even taller than Daniel Gafford, so the ceiling may be even higher for him. I have JaVale McGee. Just very straightforward. I think that makes a lot of sense.
JaVale
McGee.
That might be the perfect comp ever.
I'm the comp king, Colin. Right here. This is
JaVale McGee. I gotta look up something. I gotta see what is his 2-point percentage. JaVale McGee.
So here's the last thing I'll end with while we look up JaVale McGee's 2-point percentage. 58.4%. JaVale McGee.
I have for his first 7 years in the league, it was hovering around 50,
Terrible.
48, 49.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Here's the only thing I will say. I did a Bart Torvik query, and just to see Yanic's numbers and contextualize them a little bit. One name that came up was Udoka Azubuike. And if y'all are long-time listeners of this show, this was the most correct prediction in my life. And I have a lot of correct predictions here. But Udoka Azubuike, let me go back to my
That was a crazy pick.
Udoka Azubuike popped up, and I had him. Let me just control F.
I still have that. What year was that?
Oh, it was 2020. It was our very first one. Yeah, I had him 54th on my board. Okay. And he ended up going first round to, I believe it was the Utah Jazz.
Yep, it's the Jazz, yeah.
And we made a video talking. We did our reaction videos, which everyone can go watch after, the draft. And we were like, I was like, this is terrible. This dude's not good at all, so on and so forth. I will say for Yanic, at least he shoots better than 40% from the free throw line. Udoka shot like 44% from the free throw line like every year. Yanic at least shoots like in the mid 60s here. And I think there's actual some ability on ball that Udoka didn't have, like I said before. But in terms of like profiles of guys that just dunk and block shots, that popped up on the query. So I thought about that and I laughed.
You're not doing yourself any favors saying that. I think
I thought about that and I laughed. So I was like, well, if I go down, then I'm never going to take a big that pops up in this query ever again.
Fair enough.
But here we are. Yanic, top 35 player in the class. Book it.
Yanic, top 35. Wow.
Yes. All right. Thank you all for joining us. Leave us a like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Let us know what you think down below, and we will talk to you all later.